Brave New Voices National Teen Poetry Slam Championship, also known as poets believe that they can change the world with their words.
The next generation can clearly speak for itself.
They represent teams from all over the country.
Give it up! Give it up! Give it up!
And the journeys began months earlier. This series will follow these teams as they select
Next
generation
poets.
turns inspiration into spoken word.
I write America.
I write America.
I write America.
Through the struggles,
Life gives me tough times, so poetry is what I make.
with all the passion, working toward one goal, to compete on the national stage. This is spoken word. This is slam poetry. These are brave new voices.
The youth have spoken.
America, reclaim your humanity.
I remember a time when I loved him more than I loved myself.
Just afraid to rain a black sun.
At last, free dream. At last, free. 50 shots and life still goes on for me. Life ain't nothing but a memory, Without language, we have nothing.
Here are brave new voices.
All the other finalists for the first time and us all coming together, I was really nervous. And I said a lot of times, wow, I feel like an amateur among all these heavyweights.
From thin air they create clouds of dark smoke billowing up from blackened lips. My lungs cannot take it, but they are grown men, so they inhale deeply.
I was born with cerebral palsy, and in terms of my disability, the biggest challenge is people not taking you seriously.
We're about to bring another poet to the stage. Give it up for Brittany Wilson.
My disability is definitely essential to who I am. It's one of the main reasons that I want to advocate for others because I see how shortchanged, disadvantaged people are. And I feel like I represent 3 underprivileged demographics. I'm female, I'm African American, and I'm disabled.
I sat at the kitchen table as she stood, stirring a pot on the stove, when Peter Jennings interrupted with the news brief. Too young to really comprehend the story, I pointed with joy at a familiar sight. That's the White House, I said. I'm gonna be there someday. Pulling out a pan from a cabinet underneath the sink, she turned around and smiled at me.
Well, the poem is based on an incident that actually happened about 10 years ago, so I guess I was about 7 or 8.
No, Grandma. I want to work there. Oh, yeah? She said, apparently gaining interest as she took the biscuits out of the oven. And what do you want to do there? Duh. I want to be the president.
I just thought about it because, with Obama running for president, I thought back to this incident about 10 years ago, and I thought that would be a nice way to connect what I wanted to do to what actually might happen.
She took a moment to answer me before shaking her head at my folly and responding quite calmly. You can't do that. But you can clean it, boo. As she scooped up the 1930s Jim Crow South and put it in her mouth, suddenly I remembered, you are what you eat.
Give it up for all the poets that touched stage tonight.